it's Sam here. Today I'm going to show you how to make this lovely card. It's like a springy frame. It's got like a book spine kind of detail on the side. I have done similar before on the channel, so if I find the playlist I'll have it linked up here. I've added a little stand on the back there so it all stands up and you can write your message. And I'm going to show you how to create this cool background. I'm doing a different design today, but the products I use are the same. And if you want to see how this card was made, I made it during a Facebook Live and I'll link that in the description box below. You don't need any specialty dies to make this card. The aperture, I have used an inverted scallop die. However, you can cut this by hand and you can also use any other shapes that you've got. So it's very easy to make. So let's get started. So I thought I would start off by making the background because then that will have some time to dry whilst I'm doing all of the other bits. So I'm going to use this tree 3D embossing folder. Now, even though it's a 6x8 size card and this is a 6x6 folder, I'm going to have my design at the bottom is going to have lots of trees, probably have the sentiment. So I'm going to disguise this kind of blank patch. And by the time you see the frames on there, there's only really going to be a little bit there. You're not going to see it, but I really want this tree background. What I want to do is create the same background that I did on this one. Can you see the folder at the back there? And it's got that lovely green inked background and that shine. As I was making that, we were saying in the live, this would make a really good Halloween background. So I'm going to redo it again. That was during a Facebook Live, so at least this showing how to kind of create that background will be on YouTube. So I'm just going to emboss this one first. You should hopefully be able to see that lovely 3D design there. So I'm going to start off with the Twisted Citron and I'm just going to load that up in the middle part here. So I'm going to have Dracula is going to be kind of rising from the trees and he will be in this space here. So this kind of highlighted and lighter green will look really good behind him. So that was Twisted Citron. Then the Lucky Clover is going to fill all of the rest of the white space, and then I'm going to go around with the black soot. I'm going to go back in with some more of this first because I don't want to contaminate this with any black ink. So I'm just going to start to blend these two colours together better. So we've got that spooky glow, and then like I said, I'm going to go in now with the black and just work it around all of the edges. I want to bring it in a bit more because we've got to take into account the frame's going to cover, you know, 1/2 inch at least. So pull that up and there's going to be, like I said, and then the trees and stuff will cover that. And then again, just going over now with the Lucky Clover just to blend the black. Okay, so pleased with that. So next I'm going to now spritz it with the Twisted Citron Distressed Spritz. I'm going to give it a good shake until you can hear the Bulgarian. And that means it's just broken up all the mica that sits on the bottom. You can go as light and as heavy as you want. I'm going to go a bit heavier. Give it a nice spooky. I'm obsessed with these, honestly. For someone that doesn't use a lot of mediums on their cards, these are brilliant. So you can see already, I mean, I don't know how well, but without even drying it, just look at that along the bottom. It's brilliant, so good. So I'm going to just quickly dry that. It will evaporate because there's the alcohol inside of here. That will just evaporate and then leave all the mica. And it's got a fixative in it as well, so it doesn't, so there's no fall off. You don't get any of the mica transferring onto your hands or anything. Okay, so there is the finished background. Just look at the shine. It looks amazing. Absolutely love this. And then I've just cut another piece of 6x8 and I've stuck it on the back because you could see all the ink and it was a bit messy, and you will see this part. So just stuck those two together. And then I thought I said I was going to put the trees at the bottom, which I'm still going to do, but I've also then used the grass effect from the Easy Edges. This is all occasions. You can use it for Christmas, new home cards. The grass I've used on lots of ones, but I've cut it in black and then I've just spritzed the Twisted Citron directly onto it, and again, just look at the wonderful effect it gives you. So I thought what I would do is layer up the grass. I'm going to put foam behind it. I'm going to stick some actually behind the frame as well when I make it. And I've also then gone ahead and I've stamped and coloured all of the elements. Now I've popped some foam on the back there. You could use some wobblers as well. He can go in the middle. And these are from the Haunting Times and the Spooky Fun. So I've used the trees, these two here, and then I've used Dracula, the witches on here. That's from this set. And then the bats and the spider and the spider's web there as well. You've also got the haunted house. You've got other elements. This is the die set. There's loads there. And then I'm going to use my sentiment in a minute to cut the frame. So pop all those to one side. The springy kind of bouncy frame is very, very easy. You just want to cut yourself 2 pieces of 3x6 and 2 pieces of 3x8. If you want a different shape, maybe you want a square, you could cut 4 pieces of 3x6 and then you've got a square shape. You may want to have an 8x8 size, so then you could cut 4 of the 3x8 pieces. It's really, really simple. I've cut myself another piece of 6x8 because this is what I'm going to cut my frame into. And then I've got this piece which is going to be for the stands. So the scoring on all of these pieces, so 2 that are 3x6 and 2 that are 3x8. Which is there. Okay, you want to score each one along the 3-inch side. You're going to score at 3/4, 1.5 and 2 1/4. Okay, so 3/4, 1.5 and 2 1/4, and you do that on all of the pieces. And then you want to do a concertina fold, so you have a mountain, valley and a mountain. So you've got an M shape or a W shape, it's up to you. I've already done those ones. That one and then that one's a mountain, valley. This is the Craft Stash smooth cardstock. It's 300 GSM. You don't need 300 GSM. You could easily use like a 220, 240, but it does give it a nice spring. So there are side pieces. And then for the stand, you may want to stick yours onto a side fold 6x8 card. You may not want to add a stand. You might want to put a little piece of string on here, and you could have it as a little hanging piece of home decor. You might want to stick it onto the front of a gift bag. It's entirely up to you, but if you do want to make the stand, it's a piece of 10.5 by 5, and along that long side you're going to score at 1/2 inch, 1.5, 2.5 and 6.5, and you want to create a mountain, valley, mountain and mountain fold, and that's going to come right round and stick down there. So I'm just going to grab some glue and I'll stick that down now. So just run that all along that little 1/2 inch tab, and if you keep it all squashed down and then close it up, that's how it will fold down to go in your envelope. You could have your space on the back here to write your message. But you'll see now when it opens up, it will open up by 2 inches, so it's a perfect, you know, that's enough to hold that card up. So I use the inverted scallop dies. These are the rectangles. I've used these a lot in my videos. I just think they're really nice for giving you like an instant frame because you have the lovely detail on the edge. So I think it was this one. Yeah, so if you want to create a similar size aperture, you could cut this yourself. It could be a circle, oval shape. If you've got this set, it's the one that's 4.5 by 6.5. And I'm going to just lay that down in the middle and get that cut. And then I want to stamp my sentiment. So on that one, I used the Witching You a Happy Halloween. I just cut it down so I could have it running along the bottom there. But I think for this one, I'm just going to do the Happy Halloween. You've also got ones for birthdays. You've got to have a fabulous birthday. Just how old are you? Delivering bugs and kisses. You got something if you want to send a thank you card. Thank you very much. It's spooky season. I've used every one at some point across my Halloween makes from this year and last year. It looks about centered to me. Okay, happy with that. Now if you wanted to, you could back this with acetate. Maybe if you're doing a Christmas scene, lovely snowfall acetate behind it, and then your scene inside. You could turn this into a shaker pocket. You could just literally, if you imagine, you know, you've got your acetate in front of that, but just beads and all sorts all inside, because they can't get out. I mean, if they went between there, you wouldn't be able to maybe squash it like that, but I think it would look quite fab actually as a shaker. And then to stick it together, I'm going to get some glue. I'm going to just pop a little glue just behind that one there and stick that behind this one. And then that one is going to go down, and then that one, then that one, then that one. I'll show you again on the other side for anybody that's missed it. Okay, so now you see you just got that little bit of a spring there. So again on this side here, a little bit of glue. That's going to go behind, and then you're going to pop that one down, and that one, and that one, and then again that last one, like so. You'll see now this top layer is like lifted up. You see the concertina there, and once you've matched that, oh, I've just stuck the wrong one down. It's fine, I've just realised what I've done then. You're probably watching me thinking, that doesn't look right, Sam, but I get to show you again. So that one on top, and then fold that one. As you're doing it, make sure you've got them quite snug together so you've got a nice right angle. But yeah, you see you've got this kind of pocket inside, and then just repeat. I'm just going to stick that one because that's where I added the glue. So again on the bottom, and then again that one down over the top, and then that one. You want to make sure you end up with the short one on the top again so it matches that side. And again you can see that spring in there, and then just stick the last one down. To be honest, even if you stuck it slightly differently to the other one, it doesn't matter, because I think during the live I stuck that one differently. But you should see you've just got this little spring. If you want to add more concertina, so maybe cut it to 6 inches wide, and as long as you score it every 3/4 of an inch, you could have more of a book, more of a spine, that folded page effect. But you just got a little spring. I can now stick this frame right over the top, and then I'm going to stick that one onto there. But before I do that, I also then want to stick these pieces in. So I think actually this one is going to go right behind the frame, so just a little glue, and I think about that much I think's good. The other one I thought I could stick in between the top and bottom. In fact, I think I cut these just right. Imagine that one on top. Yeah, that looks good. And then I just want to make sure you cover that gap. Perfect. And can you see the dimension if I just hold this up? See that natural dimension we've got just by sticking it in between, and then the back one I might pop up on some foam. So I think for this one, all I need to do, I'm just going to just cut a little bit off because it just slightly catches. A little glue just on each side, and then on the top ones. So yeah, if you are adding things to give you a bit more dimension, just make sure that you've kind of got this all down before you stick that frame on. So then what I'll do is I'll pop this one in between the very back one there. There you go, so you can see that's slotted down. So we've got that nice stagger. I think that's sits nicely against that one. Yeah, I'm just going to cut a little bit off the edge. And I might just run a little bit along the bottom there as well. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to get all this stuck down, stick the frame on, get all my decorations stuck down, and then for this here, you just add your glue. I like to add it to the side where you got the join, so that when you're looking at it from, if that's stuck down, you can't see any join. So add your glue all onto that side and just line it up with the bottom and stick it down. Okay, so there is the finished card. So all I need to do now is add the glow in the dark. Again, completely optional. I'm also going to add some little glaze drops, which is the lighter bits there, or the shiny one. These dry obviously matte, but I just want to have loads of like bubbles as he's like rising up through the trees there. Okay, so I've gone over the top as always, but once that is all dry, that's going to glow and look really cool. So I just added tons, and then I've added some glaze just on the spider, on his shoes, bow tie, his eyes. I was going to cover all of the bats, but I may still well do that, but I'm going to let that all dry first and then see how it looks. I think they look wonderful. So I hope you've enjoyed this kind of frame, bouncy frame idea from me today. As always, all of the products that I've used I will link individually in the description box below, but you can also click just here and that will take you to the Craft Stash website where you'll find most of this product. Make sure to subscribe to my channel just by clicking up here, and that way you won't miss out on future videos. And all of my kind of frame and shadow box cards I'll have in a playlist here, and you might want to watch that next. Take care. Bye.